but this is a little bit of a funny tip. But if you don't know people very well, because with your family and friends, this might not always work because they know you for a long time. But when you, for example, at a business meeting or something, or you're with your colleagues that you don't know very well, just say that you're
and something about I also wanted to talk about social pressure in your clients or with yourself. Something that I experience when I go out to eat somewhere and I'm telling, hey guys, I'm dieting, so I'm not gonna eat this. They always have an opinion like, why are you not gonna eat this? You know, it's just one day. So why not eat with us or something like that? I'm just curious how you handle that with your clients and in your personal life, how you do that.
So one thing I think it's very important to realize is that a lot of social pressure and things people tell to you is actually a fraction of how they feel, and sometimes this is super unconscious, subconscious. So they don't know subconsciously that they think this, but subconsciously they still kind of project their feelings to yours. Because if you just ask a random group of people in the street, for example, like, do you want to be fitter? Do you want to have more energy? Do you want to be leaner? Do you want to lose like 5 kilos or something? They'll be like, most people would be like, yes, I would like that. Like, if I could wake up like less overweight tomorrow, then that would be perfect, right? But they kind of, like, a lot of people, they don't really know how to do it, or they don't know how to implement this. So they just go through their lives and they keep telling themselves that it's okay, that they, like, others are not living like that, or are doing the same, like everybody's overweight, stuff like that. And then you come along and you're like, okay, I'm making different choices. I'm being like, I'm more health conscious. I want to stay fit, stuff like that. And I think sometimes that does something to them, like I said, subconsciously, and they kind of feel threatened. And that's why they also be like, well, why don't you just like, why you're being obsessive, or you're being like way too rigid or stuff like that, right? That's what comes then, because it's something that they would like to do too, but they don't know how. So this is something that's good to realize, even though some people don't know this, but it can be really good for you to realize that, and it can help you to actually be like, okay, well, they can project their feelings onto you or their opinion, but it's for you to decide what you want to do. So the most important thing is for you to realize what you think is important. And I feel that it helps when you're just being enthusiastic about your lifestyle. So if you come to a party and, for example, you don't want to drink alcohol and people are offering you alcohol, and you'll be like, oh, I would really like to, but I really can't. I'm on this diet. Like, yeah, I'm so sorry, but yeah, now this is something I cannot do. And like being all negative about it. Of course, people are not going to like you, because nobody likes a negative Nancy, and nobody likes it when you're super negative about everything. And if you put it like that, it almost is like you actually would want it, but something restricts you. And then people, of course, are not going to take you very seriously. Be like, whoa, this is crazy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're being like, oh, like super positive, you're like, no, I've not been drinking for a few weeks now, and it really helps me. And you just explain why you're doing this and how it helps you. Like, some people might still not understand it, but at least you explained what it does for you. And some people will be super happy for you, and some people will still not understand it, but at least you put it out there, and it will help you to, it will also help you to realize why you're doing it for you. And yeah, and then just don't focus too much on it. Just be a nice person at the party, just talk with people, just be your regular self. And it's not about a party like whether you drink or not, I mean, that shouldn't dictate how much fun it is, right? Like you can still be a nice person without eating cookies or without drinking alcohol.
Yeah. So if you just express the positivity, that they will absorb that positivity and like they feel like, he's feeling good.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
I should try. Some people can think like that, but some people maybe still think negative, like you're saying.
Well, and you cannot change what other people think. So it's not your role to change their opinion. It's just your role to make sure that you do what you want, because it's your responsibility after all to decide whether you want to eat something or not, right? Like it's not the other person's choice. So I feel that's at least something that I really adapted for myself. And once I started doing that, it gave me so much freedom and so much more encouragement, because I was like, okay, yeah, it's like I can decide if I eat a cookie or not. I mean, it's not like I don't, that I cannot, but like I can make the choice. So if I don't want it, then I don't eat it. And if I want it, then I eat it, regardless of what other people think.
Yeah, it's your own choice. And I think you should reflect it in a positive way to others, that they understand it's his choice.
And also something I sometimes recommend, but this is a little bit of a funny tip. But if you don't know people very well, because with your family and friends, this might not always work because they know you for a long time. But when you, for example, at a business meeting or something, or you're with your colleagues that you don't know very well, just say that you're eating gluten-free, for example. Because if you say like you're gluten intolerant, whether this is the case or not, I found at least that people are always super understanding. Because it's so funny that it works this way. Because if you tell them like, I don't want to eat this cookie because it doesn't fit in my diet, people are like, whoa, you're being obsessive. But if you tell them like, I cannot eat this cookie because I'm gluten intolerant, they'll be like, oh, really? Oh, should I get you something else? Like, oh, that's so hard on you. Like, how do you manage? Are you okay? And then people are super understanding for some reason. And it's actually, to me, it's mind blowing, because you're basically saying the same thing, but just because you say you're gluten intolerant, it can help. But it's more like a quick fix, because like I said, I think it's very good to practice with just doing your own thing, because like a lot of social pressure is just fear. Like it's fear what others might think of you. And it's something you can work through, because once you start doing it more, then you realize nothing ever happens. Like people will still like you, or I mean, don't like you, but it doesn't really matter that much. Like the world doesn't end, and you can still have a good time somewhere, even if you reject something that you don't want to eat.